The moment Starship lights all of its engines, every fraction of a second becomes a battle against physics. 33 Raptor engines ignite beneath nearly 5,000 tons of stainless steel, causing the entire vehicle to shake violently as rhythmic vibrations ripple through the structure. Exhaust plumes slam directly into the launch mount, reflecting intense shock waves back toward the engines. Despite this chaotic environment, each steering engine must keep pointing in exactly the right direction. A movement of just a few degrees can mean the difference between a perfectly controlled ascent and a rapidly growing disaster. For decades, heavy-lift rockets relied exclusively on hydraulic thrust vector control to handle this monumental task, steering everything from the Saturn V to the Space Shuttle. This raises a fundamental question. Why did SpaceX throw away one of the most trusted systems in aerospace history and replace it with electricity? At first glance, moving away from hydraulics sounds almost reckless because rocket engines do not belong in the same sentence as standard electric actuators. Hydraulics possess one enormous advantage: they generate tremendous force. Moving a piston with high-pressure fluid can easily swing an engine weighing well over 2 tons while fighting the immense dynamic forces generated by hundreds of tons of thrust. However, hydraulic systems are incredibly complicated, requiring a massive network of pumps, reservoirs, filters, pressure regulators, control valves, and miles of specialized tubing. The hydraulic fluid itself must survive extreme temperature swings without boiling, freezing, or leaking. This means every single seal becomes a potential failure point, every pipe adds dead weight, and every fitting demands a meticulous post-flight inspection item. This complexity directly conflicts with SpaceX's primary goal for Starship: rapid and complete reusability. Most rockets fly once, but Starship is designed to fly repeatedly, eventually turning around within days or even hours. Under that paradigm, every extra hose becomes a maintenance headache, and every leaking seal threatens to delay the next launch. The very technology that served rockets faithfully for decades was turning into one of the biggest operational obstacles to a high-frequency launch architecture. Beyond maintenance, hydraulic systems demand continuous, centralized power infrastructure. Inside a traditional rocket, an entire subsystem must run constantly just to keep the fluid pressurized. If the pressure drops, engine control suffers immediately. If contamination enters the fluid, valves can stick. And if a tiny air bubble forms, the mechanical response changes completely. Multiplying this challenge across the Super Heavy booster, where 33 independent Raptor engines must rapidly and continuously correct roll, pitch, and yaw, results in an overwhelming amount of plumbing. This network is not just heavy, it is incredibly crowded, competing for precious space inside the engine section alongside methane lines, oxygen plumbing, wiring harnesses, avionics, sensors, and primary structural supports. To eliminate this bottleneck, SpaceX looked toward modern electrical engineering. Historically, early electric actuators simply lacked the power needed for extreme aerospace applications, frequently suffering from overheated motors, worn gearboxes, and imprecise electronics under heavy loads. However, technology eventually caught up. Significant advances in brushless motors drastically increased torque density, while modern permanent magnet materials allowed compact motors to generate astonishing structural force. Combined with stronger planetary gear systems and high-performance motor controllers capable of processing accurate adjustments hundreds of times per second, electric actuators became genuinely competitive with traditional hydraulics. By switching to electric thrust vector control, SpaceX transformed each actuator into its own intelligent, self-contained machine. Instead of relying on a centralized hydraulic loop, each unit receives direct electrical power and digital commands. Built-in position sensors continuously report exact mechanical locations, motor current reveals the precise amount of force being applied, and internal diagnostics monitor temperature and component health in real time. This abundance of telemetry unlocks the power of predictive maintenance.
While hydraulic systems often hide internal wear until a sudden pressure loss or major leak occurs, electric actuators reveal deteriorating health gradually through subtle increases in motor current, minor drops in movement speed, or unexpected thermal rises. For a reusable launch vehicle, this data is priceless.
While critics initially pointed out that high-power electrical actuators would significantly increase the vehicle's electrical demand, electrical power scales far more efficiently than hydraulics. High-voltage electrical architecture reduces overall cable mass, simplifies the implementation of redundant power paths, and isolates failures so individual actuators can keep functioning even if a neighboring unit experiences a fault. Furthermore, electric systems offer an incredibly vital advantage in aerospace: faster response time. Because hydraulic fluid compresses slightly under extreme pressures and valves take time to mechanically cycle, there is an inherent delay in fluid-driven systems. Electric motors skip this entire mechanical chain, allowing current to flow and torque to appear almost instantly when the flight computer issues a command. During maximum aerodynamic pressure, known as max Q, Starship must constantly correct tiny attitude disturbances caused by high-altitude winds. Faster actuated response times allow for tighter control loops, which drastically improves vehicle stability, reduces unnecessary oversteering, and ultimately saves valuable propellant. This evolution effectively changes the fundamental philosophy of rocket construction. Instead of building giant, complicated plumbing networks, SpaceX is building rockets that behave like advanced computers with engines attached. Much of the system can now be optimized, calibrated, and upgraded through software updates and improved control algorithms without ever needing to redesign physical hardware. By removing the pumps, reservoirs, regulators, and fluid lines inherent to hydraulics, thousands of individual components disappear from the vehicle. This aligns with a core engineering principle: the best part is no part, because a removed component can never fail or require a tedious post-flight inspection. This simplified approach is particularly vital when looking toward the future exploration of Mars. Servicing a complex hydraulic system on another planet with limited spare parts and infrastructure would be extraordinarily difficult. Electric actuators simplify interplanetary operations by being nearly maintenance-free by comparison. Designing these electric systems to survive intense acoustic vibrations, cryogenic temperatures, and the extreme radiant heat of the engine bay remains an exceptional engineering hurdle. Yet the long-term rewards of lower mass, simpler plumbing, superior diagnostics, and faster turnaround times completely change the equation. The transition to electric thrust vector control represents a massive paradigm shift in aerospace design. Hydraulics were engineered for an era of disposable, single-use rockets, whereas electric actuators are purpose-built for an era where the same vehicle is expected to fly hundreds or thousands of times. It is the quiet replacement of 20th century rocket plumbing with 21st century machine design, moving humanity closer to an era where launching a rocket is as routine as operating a commercial airliner.